Hello everybody, I'm DaveChaos and welcome to my first video on The Last Resort, and hopefully I'll be doing many more. You may know me from my YouTube channel, which is youtube.com/DaveChaos, and I do product reviews on there as well as gaming. I am a gamer, so first product review for this channel I'm going to be doing is on the SteelSeries Guild Wars 2 mouse. So here it is, we'll have a quick look. Here we are. Very nice looking mouse. I love the artwork on this thing. Now, one of the things I like to do in my review videos is to get the camera and get right up close and personal with the equipment that I'm reviewing, because an important factor to me is quality. So we're going to have a real close look at this thing to see what it's made of. And I also have on my computer loaded up is the software that comes with this thing, because this is basically for Guild Wars 2. Isn't really designed for much else, so we'll show you that and how you can use it with other things other than Guild Wars. And yes, so let's have a nice close look. We'll unbox this thing. So here we are. As you can see, I also have the SteelSeries mouse mat, the Guild Wars 2. A lovely, lovely design. Goes very well with the mouse, as you can see. It's a perfect match, and there's not much I can say about the mouse mat. You know, it's a mouse mat. It's got a nice design. There you go. So here's the mouse. Here we are. You'll notice straight away that it's got buttons either side, and it's a very streamlined design. And the reason for this is because it's ambidextrous. So if you're left-handed or right-handed, it doesn't matter. You can use this either way, and you just reassign the buttons on either side. But one of the things we'll note when we'll have a look in a minute on the software is that the buttons on the right hand side are also bound to things for in the game. So yeah, I think that's kind of awkward personally, with it being a right-handed person. You know, you probably have to use your little finger for that. Yes, that's a tough one. So as you can see, we're getting nice and close. Hopefully the macro mode will come on. There we are, and you can see the quality of this thing is not that bad. It's got a matte finish to it, so it's got a real nice feel. Right here you'll notice that it says Guild Wars 2, so when I have it plugged in you'll see that that bit there lights up, and so does the scroll wheel. Now on the underneath you've got the glide pads, you know, on the mouse mat. They work quite well, they're fine, you know, they're pretty standard on most mice I should say. But the other thing that is a downside to this mouse, which I would have liked to have seen, is weights. Changeable weights. There are no changeable weights in this, and this mouse is particularly light. And for me, I like my mouse to have a bit of a weight to it, so that's a factor you'll have to think about if you decide to buy one of these mice. Then there's the cable as well, which is a plastic cable. I would have also liked to have seen this cable braided, you know, covered with a cloth cover, but unfortunately it's just plastic, which is a bit of a downside. Now the actual build quality of this thing, when it comes to, you know, its quality, is again, you know, a little bit lacking. It's got a nice feel and finish to it, but the thing is, it's extremely light, and it's quite plasticky, to be honest. If I'm quite brutal about it, if we look at this plastic here, it's extremely thin. You know, it's not that good, if I'm honest. Yeah. Okay, and there's not much more I can say about this mouse. There's a DPI change there, but it's only got two settings of a DPI. That's basically low or high when you press and let go. So there's no up and down like I'd like to have seen. You know, like maybe 3 different DPI settings if it had an up and down. But unfortunately it's just got high DPI or low DPI, which hopefully when we look at the software we can set that. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to plug this in. We'll have a quick look at it with it plugged in, and then we will transfer over to my screen and we'll look at the software. Okay, so here's the software for the mouse. First thing you need to look at is on the left hand side you'll see the profiles, and we've got the Guild Wars 2 profile, SteelSeries default, and your custom profiles. This is one that I set up earlier. So yeah, the mouse is on the fly as soon as you plug it in, set up for Guild Wars 2. So you'll see on these buttons here that you've got things like your healing skill, elite skills, and other stuff that you can assign to utility skills. So again, you know, it's all based around Guild Wars 2. You've got your macros that you're assigning here, so as you can see, you've got emotions and all that kind of in-game stuff. And then, of course, if you wanted to change over to SteelSeries default, you just select that, and then it would be like a standard mouse. So one of the issues I had was if you leave it on a Guild Wars 2 setting, you can't do things like scroll wheel click while in Internet Explorer or browser of your choice for opening links and things like that, and it can become a little bit awkward if you forget to change over. And of course, you can set up your own profile for other tasks. So that's how the profiling system works. If we just put it back onto the Guild Wars one, and then you've got your settings, so where you can change your CPI or your DPI, and like I was saying, there's only 2 settings, so you can do your lower one and your higher one there, your poll rating right here, and you got your illumination as well, which is for the Guild Wars logo on the rear of the mouse. Then over to your properties, and here you can put profile activation options. So what you can do is for the Guild Wars 2, you would add application. So you go to browse, find your Guild Wars 2 exe, and what will happen is whenever you launch Guild Wars 2, the mouse will automatically activate the Guild Wars 2 profile. So say you had a profile here for another game like World of Warcraft, for example. You could have a profile there called World of Warcraft, and whenever you launch World of Warcraft, if you say, let me show you. So if we go on new profile, say no to changes, and change this, browse to World of Warcraft. Every time we launch World of Warcraft, if we were on the Guild Wars 2 profile, it would automatically flick over to your World of Warcraft profile. So that's a nice little feature, that's pretty good. Then we've got the statistics. Basically this will log your mouse presses. As you can see on the right hand side, you've got a tips section which will tell you what all the different options are for. We're not going to look into this too much. And then there's also a news tab which will open up a page for you, and that's just got a rundown of any new updates for the mouse. So there's a quick overview of the software for the mouse, and now we'll go on and have a quick chat about what I feel about this mouse. So there we have it. That was the SteelSeries Guild Wars 2 mouse. If I had to give this a rating, it would be a bronze, unfortunately. It's specifically designed for Guild Wars 2, and I can imagine it would work perfectly. I am a Guild Wars 2 player, but personally I wouldn't use this mouse, even though it is for the game. It's not very practical when it comes to using it with other games. The profile system I don't particularly like. I found it a bit of a pain transferring from one profile to the next profile. No settings to change your DPI, so if you like to play Guild Wars and then go on to an FPS game, you're going to have issues. You don't want to be swapping out mice or anything like that. So, and as well as the build quality of the mouse itself, I found it to be it's way too light. It's quite plasticky, and I really didn't like it. Unfortunately, that's why I'm giving this a bronze rating. So there we go. I hope you enjoyed my review. There's going to be many more on this channel from now on, from myself and a few others. So yes, why not hit that subscribe button, and I'll check you in the next video. Cheers!